Do animals have souls? The Islamic answer will surprise you. Imagine standing before Allah on the Day of Judgment, and suddenly every animal that has ever lived begins to gather. The birds that filled the skies, the fish hidden beneath the oceans, the lions of the desert, the ants beneath your feet, even the cat you loved or the animal you once helped. Now ask yourself one question. Why would Allah gather every single animal if they had no purpose after death? Most people believe animals simply live, die, and disappear forever. But is that really what Islam teaches? The answer is far more amazing than most Muslims realize. Allah never creates anything without wisdom. Every creature has a purpose, whether we understand it or not. Allah says in the Quran, "There is no creature on the earth nor a bird, flying with its wings, except they are communities like you." Quran. Think about that verse for a moment. Allah calls them communities, just like us. They have families, emotions, ways of communicating, and lives that matter to their creator. Today, scientists continue discovering incredible things about animals. Elephants mourn their dead. Birds warn each other of danger. Bees work together with astonishing organization. Ants build entire societies. More than 14 centuries ago, the Quran already reminded us that they are nations created by Allah. But here's an even deeper question. Do animals have souls? The answer is yes. Every living creature lives only because Allah gave it life. And every soul returns to Him at its appointed time. Allah says Allah takes the souls at the time of their death. Quran 39:42. Nothing dies outside the knowledge of Allah. Not a human, not a bird, not even the smallest creature crawling on the ground. Now think about an animal that touched your heart. Maybe a cat that waited for you at your door. A bird whose voice filled your mornings. A horse that served its owner faithfully for years. Were those lives meaningless? Absolutely not. The Prophet Muhammad taught that the way we treat animals is so important that it can affect our own hereafter. He told us about a man who found a dog dying from thirst. The man climbed into a well, filled his shoe with water, and gave the dog something to drink. Because of that single act of mercy, Allah forgave his sins. Then the Prophet told another story. A woman locked up a cat, refusing to feed it or let it search for food until it died. Because of her cruelty, she was punished. Think about what these two stories teach us. If Allah rewards kindness to a thirsty dog and holds a person accountable for starving a single cat, then how much does He value justice for every creature He created? This leads to an even greater question, and the answer will completely change the way you think about animals on the Day of Judgment. Have you ever wondered what happens after every animal is gathered before Allah? Will they simply stand there, or will justice finally be served? The Quran gives us a remarkable clue. Allah says, "And when the wild beasts are gathered," Quran 81:5. This is not describing life in this world. It is describing one of the scenes of the Day of Judgment. Every creature that ever lived will be brought before its creator. Nothing will be forgotten, not the largest whale in the ocean, nor the smallest ant beneath a stone. But why? The Prophet Muhammad gave the answer in an authentic hadith. He said that Allah will judge between all His creation until justice is established, even between the hornless sheep and the sheep that had horns. The hornless sheep will receive justice for the harm it suffered from the horned one. Sahih Muslim. Think about how incredible that is. Animals are not morally responsible in the same way human beings are. They are not judged for sins like us, because they were never given free will and divine law as humans were. Yet Allah's justice is so perfect that even an animal that suffered unfairly will not be ignored. Imagine a tiny bird killed without reason. Imagine an animal abused for entertainment. Imagine every creature that experienced pain. Allah saw it all. Not a single moment escapes His knowledge. This teaches us something profound about the names of Allah. He is Al-Adl, the most just. His justice is so complete that it reaches every creature He created. If He does not ignore the suffering of a sheep, then how could He ever ignore the suffering of a human being? Many people ask, if animals are innocent, why do they suffer? Islam teaches that this world is not the place of complete justice. This life is a test for human beings. But the day of judgment is the day when every right will be restored. Even the smallest injustice will be addressed before the Lord of the worlds. Then, after perfect justice has been completed, something happens that surprises almost everyone. The Prophet informed us that Allah will say to the animals, "Be dust." In a single command, their worldly existence comes to its end after justice has been fulfilled. And it is at that very moment that the disbeliever, seeing what has happened, will cry out in despair. Just as Allah says in the Quran, "Oh, I wish I were dust." Quran 78:40. But does this mean the story ends there? What about the animals we loved? What about our pets? Good Allah, whose mercy is greater than we can imagine, reunite believing people with the creatures they cherished in paradise. The answer is more hopeful than most people have ever heard. Now comes the question that touches millions of hearts. If Allah commands the animals to become dust after justice is complete, does that mean we will never see them again? The answer is more beautiful than many people expect. The authentic hadith tells us that after justice has been carried out between the animals, Allah will command them, "Be dust." This is why the disbeliever will wish, "Oh, I wish I were dust." Quran 78:40. This is the clear teaching found in authentic Islamic sources. But what about paradise? Neither the Quran nor any authentic hadith says that no animal can ever exist in paradise. In fact, paradise belongs entirely to Allah, and He creates whatever He wills. Allah says therein is whatever the soul's desire and what delights the eyes. Quran 43:71. Think about that promise. Whatever the righteous truly desire, Allah is fully capable of granting it. The scholars explained that although the animals of this world complete their role after justice is established, Allah is not limited in His power. If a believer wishes to have an animal in paradise, nothing prevents Allah from creating whatever He wills for the people of Jannah. Paradise is not limited by the rules of this world. It is the home of perfect happiness where sadness, loss, and disappointment no longer exist. Allah also says, "For them there is whatever they wish, and with us is even more." Quran 50:35. Imagine entering a place where every fear disappears. No death, no pain, no loneliness, no goodbyes. Every blessing is greater than anything the human mind can imagine. This topic teaches us something much bigger than what happens to animals. It teaches us who Allah is. He is so just that even 2 sheep will receive perfect justice. He is so merciful that showing kindness to a thirsty dog became the reason a man was forgiven. He is so wise that He never created a single creature without purpose. And He is so generous that paradise contains rewards beyond anything we can dream of. So the next time you see a bird flying across the sky, an ant carrying its food, or a cat resting peacefully in the sun, remember that every one of them is a creation of Allah, glorifying Him in a way we cannot fully understand. Allah says, "There is not a thing except that it glorifies His praise, but you do not understand their glorification." Quran 17:44. Treat every living creature with mercy, because mercy is beloved to Allah. Perhaps one small act of kindness towards an animal, something the world considers insignificant, could become the deed that outweighs everything else on the day you stand before your Lord. If this reminder increased your love for Allah and His creation, share it with someone else. You never know whose heart it may change, and every person who benefits from it may become a source of reward for you. By the permission of Allah,